When you lose by 224 runs, it's the equivalent in boxing of either a technical knockout or the referee stopped the bout. So what do we talk about here on Cricket Buzz Live? Ajay Jadeja is here, so is Zaheer Khan. We'll talk about the positives. I thought there were a few. I thought Khalil Ahmed's bowling was a positive. Kuldeep Yadav befuddling them was still a positive. Rohit Sharma slip catching was a positive. And Jason Holder's batting for the West Indies was a positive. So what do we start with? If I get him started on Khalil, you won't get a word in.
No, and I
because he's the doctor. He's a left-arm doctor.
Look,
I must tell you that the three of us are sitting here and watching. Khalil comes back for his last spell, and with his very first ball, Zaheer has looked at his hand, his head, his angle, his everything. So let's go to the doctor first. What did he do right today?
I think he hit his length was a drastic difference from what we've been seeing so far in his short career. That's something which was standing out. I felt that the length was probably a meter and a half fuller, and that's what was the main difference. I think that's why you could see that ball coming back in as well, apart from the fact that he was holding his shape much better at the crease with his front arm. That's exactly what I was talking about. So as a left armer, to get the ball back into the right hander, that's one of the key components, is to have that front arm really strong up there, and that's something which Khalil was doing with the new ball. With the second when in the second spell, that wasn't happening. So that's something which the work in progress, I would say. You'll see things getting better and better with time now.
Okay, in 30 seconds, tell me, just for the sake of all the people watching this program, if you're a left-hander, why is your right hand so important?
Because that determines the direction in which the ball is going to go.
So if this hand is up here, then this hand will go the right way.
Well, the leading arm is the most important for any bowler. I think, be it spinner, fast bowler, whatever you may be, but that front arm decides which direction the ball is going to go to, because that determines the momentum, and rest of the thing is just a reaction. It's just a follow up of what the action has happened, and that's why you talk about any bowlers, or you talk to any of the bowling coaches, they'll say that momentum going towards the batsman is the key. But what determines that is the front arm, how your front arm is going towards the batsman.
And as a result, you're swinging back in, and even batting at the highest level, and you've got experience of that. When the ball is swinging back into the right hander, suddenly the left hander is a different bowler, isn't he?
It's almost the same as outswing when a fast bowler gets the ball to swing away, because then where it starts from, it gives you two lines. Because where it's starting from, if it comes back from there, it's going to get you out LBW, bowled or whatever. And if it, if the head and all that falls, it just goes the other way. Yeah. Because he missed out the most important point, that he spent an evening with Zaheer Khan last night. That's the big change. No, and ask him. you need to ask him.
I'm glad you said it, because I was trying to.
Yes, so he's being modest. And he's not sharing it because you shared what you shared with him yesterday is what you need to share with all the young kids, somebody who's watching at home. Because he asked him a very simple question. What did you ask him? When he came to you and said,
the fact that, like, look, everyone, the stats will show, the Hawkeye, the pitch maps, everything will show you that what you're not doing, or that's just a reference point. But then what happens in your mind determines what kind of approach you are bringing, or what kind of attitude you are bringing to the ground, and that's something which in the game time you have to be aware of. So if on a particular ground, you as a bowler, you can't be afraid of getting the ball right up there. In test matches you do that, you have slip cordon, and that's where you get maximum of wickets. So it's just the mindset you need to change, and you got to be fearless as a bowler. So that's basically the outer line of the chat.
What was the exact words that you asked
I can't use those words.
No, you can't. But those are simple. I mean, because when you're fearing, it's all held back. And that arm and technical all starts with there.
So Zach answered this as a 2-mark question, and he can also answer it as a 25-mark question. 2-mark question was, I told him that you must be brave enough to bowl the ball up.
Simple.
Khatam, 2 marks.
Yeah.
How do you get brave enough to bowl the ball up? To our exam. We'll talk about it afterwards. But when the ball swings back in, suddenly you saw what, Robin Powell get out, you saw Hetmeyer get out. The ball is swinging, and as you said, that there's a second line to play for now.
Yeah. No, because, and this especially when in the left arm's bowling, because the angle is totally different. When a right-hander starts bowling towards you, the ball's coming towards you. And if it swings further in, it goes down the leg side.
Yes.
So unless he's got that outswing going when that 2 line starts, it's similar to what the left-arm bowler does. Because he needs to start it at the off-stump or off-stump outside. And if it doesn't swing, it's going to take an edge, or it can beat you and it comes back. That's why when you can swing the ball, the batsman is not sure, even because otherwise you can see the ball, say 22 yards is the length, 18 yards where the ball is left, yard number 8, 10, you know where the ball is going. But it's the ball, when the ball starts swinging, after that, it's the last 8 yards, you are still not sure. Your reaction time gets that much slower. That's why bowlers who don't have pace and have swing can still survive. Guys who have the pace and can't swing the ball, they are easier to play only for this reason, because you actually are quicker by what, 10, 20, 30%? But the distance is, you're talking over 100% more. So that is, the reaction time is less.
So you saw that with the Samuels dismissal as well. Because he had got two batsmen out swinging the ball in, the batsman is now thinking, will it come in or will it, and then he gets the edge and is caught.
And you're also forced to that line which is way outside off stump, because then you're anticipating that the ball can come back and take your stumps. So that's something which as a batsman you're watchful, and then if it's only going in an angle and not coming back into the right hander, what happens is, even if the ball is on the off stump, as a batsman you're going to just play the line and leave it. But when it's coming in, then you have to play that line which is the fourth stump line as well, because there is always a chance that the ball can swing back and take you off stump or get you out leg before wicket. So that's something, the mindset change for batsmen, then you are forcing batsmen to play the deliveries, and that's what happened with Samuel's dismissal. Another example of getting the ball right up. I think because he still looked to get the ball back in, but because of the angle and the length, it just forced Samuels to play that shot.
Could he be braver because the score is already 20 for 3?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You hit the nail. क्या बोलते हैं इंग्लिश में ऐसे ही कुछ बोलते हैं ना ये मैं ये I'm trying to do what he was doing.
You hit the nail on its head.
On its head. See, I missed the head part.
Like a knife through hot butter.
I did what Paji did once, butter through knife. So that is the key. That is the key, because once the opposition is 30 for 3, everybody is brave enough to pitch it up there. 1, 2. If I could just add to that, is we know in Mumbai in the evening the ball swings a little more. It'll be interesting to see if he can do the same thing next match. Is Trivandrum?
Thiruvananthapuram, yeah.
So there with that heat.
Good Malayali boy has to say Thiruvananthapuram.
Thiruvananthapuram.
So you are a good Malayali boy.
I know, but my English is weak.
Say it in Malayalam.
Malayalam is सारे इल्ला मैं उंडा वो कर लेंगे. So there it'll be interesting to see, if they're 60 for 1 when he comes on to bowl, is he brave enough now to put it there or not? And then, because for the ball to swing, it has to get to that distance, and it'll be different because it won't swing as much, there. So then he'll have to come up with a new skill. But most important was what you did. Hit the nail on its head.
Now,
20 for 3, anybody is a brave man.
Now that your English teacher has told you hit the nail on the head, when you have to hit a nail, that head is the only thing you can hit anyway. It's very difficult to hit anything else anyway. So don't worry, you are on the right track.
No, you could have your angutha and hit your angutha on it.
Just one other thing, 2 run-outs at the start. How would a coach react if 2 of his top 3 batsmen are coming back in a big run chase run-out? Because when we were playing at school, we had the equivalent of the good old tough PT sir. The PT sirs were the toughest people in the world. We were told, if you get run out, I'm waiting here for you. It is in your best interest to walk away in the opposite direction and go home straight from there.
I mean, there are many ways to get out anyway. The bowler can get you out in a million ways. And if run out is one thing that probably is in your hand, at the start of the innings, I can understand you're in 47th over, you're chasing, you want to get back, you don't have time to make a decision. But as a batsman, the first thing is you don't want to get out, run out. And 2 of the top 3 get out. Only hope that you had. Once he was run out, there was not much left. And it's a reaction. I mean, I can understand sitting here, it looks easy. Oh, why did you do this? But invariably, it happens when you have pressure.
I'm told that used to happen when Ajay Jadeja was running with Sanjay Manjrekar.
With Sanjay Manjrekar, anybody running would get out. But the good thing was that he would get run out. Poor fellow, he never got other people.
The funniest thing these days is to hear Sanjay Manjrekar talk about Sanjay running. So
Sanjay would run himself out. And mostly what happens in run out is what? When do you run for a run where you're not sure of it, because you're not getting, if you haven't got going, or the run rate is more, it demands you to keep the scoreboard moving, and you take a half a chance and you take a chance. You would never see a run out when 2 guys, say Kohli and Rohit Sharma are batting. They can also get run out, but it rarely will happen because they're playing along, cruising along, they don't have to worry. It's only when you're not sure of the run rate and you want to push the game, that's when it happens. And I think that total that we had today also may have played a little role.
If Kohli and Rohit are batting and one gets run out, the other gets a double hundred, right?
That's
If
been the
Kohli
case
gets run
so
out, Rohit
far.
gets a double hundred.
That's been the
Now,
case.
for the second time apparently in his career today, Rohit Sharma has scored more than the rest of the opposition team put together. He made 160 today, and the West Indies got bowled out for 150.
Well, that's the kind of player he is.
Yeah.
I think every time he is in, and that's been the hallmark of his career now. And as a batsman, something which I've heard Virendra Sehwag talk about. Like he used to say, okay, if I'm getting out 5 zeros, doesn't matter, but if 3 innings I am in, it should be 150 plus.
Yeah.
And that's something which Rohit Sharma has been a living example of. Like every time he is in, he can get out early. You've seen in the previous match as well. Jason Holder bowled a beautiful outswinger, got him out. It can happen, and that's the risk of opening the innings with the new ball. Anything can happen. You can have bowler knock you over, but when you are in, that's the time. If you're producing these kind of results, you are a class apart.
Just to end on the run-outs, the Virat Kohli run-out you sort of accept because he's such a good ground fielder. India would have been buoyed by the run-out that Kuldeep Yadav did, because he's not the quickest in the field, but for Kuldeep Yadav to gather, swoop, direct hit at the non-strikers end would be a big plus.
Yeah, that's a big plus because he's not one of your finest fielders. So generally, guys at mid-on are not one of the slowest fielders. He was off the back foot. I mean, there was enough time.
Yeah,
But as you said, Kuldeep did exactly what he had to do. He got onto the ball, picked it up, threw it, direct hit. This is all.
Did you as a fielder always make fun of spinners throwing arms? I know the other Jadeja, Ravindra is an exception,
Yeah.
but most spinners have spinners throwing arms, right? The ball comes flighted most times.
Look, we're all special people. I look at it that way.
Yeah.
You know what spinners can do, fast bowlers can't do.
Yes.
And what fast bowlers can do, spinners can't do. And it's different skills. We play for one team. It's a cricket team, but which is another thing to learn from. This cricket team actually doesn't need everybody to be similar. It needs, actually, if you have a side which has different skills, different attributes, a captain can actually use them better. And you have a variety of talent in your team. So spinners will generally be, if the spinner is playing in the side, not for sheer skill of his bowling, he'll be an outstanding fielder. An example at the other side is the West Indian left-arm spinner.
Fabian Allen.
Yeah. Look at him.
Brilliant.
He's not a great, I mean, not making any judgments, but he's not one of
You
those.
can make it's okay.
It's okay, yeah? Okay. So he's not a great spinner. Look at him, outstanding fielder.
You have to be.
So you have to have something to get to that side, whether it's West Indies, India, Pakistan, Australia. Mostly these part-time spinners around the world, you'll see, they are outstanding fielders. But the genuine spinners, actually Murli at the start of his career was a
very
brilliant
good fielder
fielder.
before the
But
shoulder
at the end, but mostly if you see, Shane Warne, Anil,
Goodness lips.
I know, you'll get upset if I talk about his fielding.
You're still scared of Anil Kumble.
Look, Anil Kumble, I've been scared from under 15. And Anil Kumble, from under 17, we were in a camp together. From then, I'm scared of him because you can't miss a ball of his bowling.
And you can't miss a single.
Huh? You can't.
Any fielder would have a tough time.
He gave it all, and especially for somebody like me, he knew I would come back late very night, and if you give that single away of Anil's bowling, he'll remind you, why didn't you come on time and sleep on time? So Anil,
The one plus for the West Indies was the batting of Jason Holder. The more you see Holder bat, he's an impressive bowler, but the more you see Holder bat, the more I think he's going to be a batting all-rounder. And he's batting at 7, which is already above where he started off batting, but he was picking the spinners so much better than anybody else. He certainly can go one step up the batting order. I mean, Hetmeyer at 5 Hetmeyer is doing all right. So is Shea Hope. So he can certainly go one step up the order, can't he?
He can. The way his batting looks like that, he's always in control. He's been one batsman from Windies side who's looked comfortable to play spin. That's something which was very evident from the series so far, and his numbers are also showing that. If you look at his numbers, he's been one of the most consistent batsmen in that lineup. So I think he can afford to. He's the captain of the side. So if he really has that instinct, he should take a chance.
You remember that morning before the game started, Jeffrey Dujon is not a great fan of Jason Holder, the bowler. He said, "Have you ever seen a bowler come out to warm up on the ground with a bat in hand?" Did you ever go onto the ground to warm up before a game with bat in hand?
Test matches, if I'm batting that.
If you're batting, not out. But he's shown why. He's a very capable batsman.
And he's got skill and he's got a cricketing brain, as you say. He's sensible. And what Zach said, he is one who's picked both the spinners pretty well.
Yes.
You know, he picks where the ball's going. I would like to see him at 5, and you know, Samuels is one man I'm saying keep pushing him back, keep pushing him back, because you've
How
got
back?
people.
12, 13,
No, if that, if you find players, but I'm saying, see, there's a style of play, and if you have, say, top 3 guys going after the bowling, and suddenly you have another man who comes and holds the innings together, then the momentum slows down. So if you have a style of play, then add as many people as you can at the top with that similar style of play. So even if you're 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, you carry on doing that, and Jason Holder certainly should be batting at 5.
I mean, Rohit Sharma had a fabulous day, but how important was Ambati Rayudu's 100? Because after the game, Virat Kohli said that he's taken his opportunity with both hands, but he also said it's good to see someone intelligent batting at number 4.
He is certainly intelligent. He's a survivor. People look at survivors and think they're
They
not
have to be intelligent, otherwise they won't survive.
Yeah.
So that's, they don't have the skills and the talent
You
that
keep
everybody
bringing up
has.
this word survivor all the time. You're not relating to something in life, are you? No. Your own performances somewhere, having to come back.
No, I was an
survive.
opening batsman. Test opener who played at so many places as an opener. No, not at all. No, I think he is that kind of a player. He's not going to let anything go. This is a man who's not part of the Indian team and averages 50 in one-day cricket.
Yeah.
So it just shows that every time whatever opportunity he's had, he may not have the talent of Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli or all the players who are around at the moment, but he definitely has the
It's a good 100.
the
It is
batting
81
skills.
balls.
He's got 100 of 81 balls. What else can you ask for? So and he won't score a 80 ball 100 if the wicket is not as good as this. He'll score a 110 ball 100. So he is one who plays looking at whatever is provided to him. What kind of wicket, what kind of opposition, how many overs to go. There are some players who just come and play the same way. They have that ability and skill to do it. So success rate might not be the same as Rayudu. Rayudu will always be most consistent. I think he's one of those players who plays within his limitations, understands his game, and he only goes for that release shot if the run rate has gone beyond or if there's a huge problem going. Not naturally.
Also, Zach, if
make
you're
a mistake.
21 years old and you're going through a little bad patch, then you've got 10 years ahead of you. It's still a bad patch. You're still worried about it. When you're 33, 34, Rayudu's 35, I think now, something like that, 33, 34 now. You know it's last chance saloon, really.
No, but that's why you value your opportunity
Much more, right?
And and looking at Rayudu, you know, he's been valuing the opportunities, whatever opportunities he's got in the past as well, very well. That's why the numbers are like that. So I think, you know, this time around, when you've added a thing or two in your game, you know, you will like to stick around, and you like to make use of the opportunities which have given to you. And that's why today, when he scored that 100, you know, his celebration was more of a relief. You know, you could see that you know, he was when you are trying to make a comeback, you know, you're always imagining that this is how things are going to unfold for me. This is how things should go for me, and that's something, when you achieve that, is the sigh of relief, you know, which you've seen today after his 100 celebration.
So India bounced back in style then. I kept saying 2-1 the last time we were there, but it is now 2-1 with 1 to play. So the West Indies can at best draw the series. The last time the West Indies won a series in India was all the way back in 2002. By the way, Marlon Samuels was still playing in that series back in 2002. That's how long he's been around. But the best they can do now is to tie it. India can go 3-1 up when they play in
Trivandrum.
Ayyo Rama, Thiruvananthapuram.
Ayyo, when I was born, it was Trivandrum.
Okay, there we go. It's a good ground. It's a very pretty ground for a start. The surface, there's not been those many international matches there. It's a very pretty ground. But do you see any changes in the India side?
With this Indian side, it's tough because I would have not made any changes. Last game we talked about that. I would stick to it, especially after what Virat Kohli had said. We want to carry on with the same team. And here we are. I mean, the 2 guys who got changed today had no big role to play. Still, results are different. I would stick to the side. Stick to your side. Chell, if he was left out, rested, you know, I don't know what the conversation is. Apart from that, what else are you going to change?
You want to give Lokesh Rahul a game somewhere, because he needs a game if he's going to be your next opener?
I think, you know, Shikhar Dhawan needs that confidence. You know, if you're getting your eye in and then getting out, so that means, you know,
He wants a big score, right?
Yeah, you're just that 1 inning away, and you don't want to damage that confidence right now, that okay, you know, we are expecting only 70s and 100s from you. If you're not giving us that, you're going to be out. So that kind of message you won't want to go to him. Another concern which I've seen is Bhuvneshwar Kumar. You know, not because of the kind of numbers we are seeing. It's just the way the rhythm is showing, the way, you know, his follow through is looking. I think, you know, there's still something which he needs to figure out. You know, maybe it's more game time is requiring. So keeping the long term vision in mind, I think he should be playing as many games as possible. If there is some kind of a niggle, then this is the time to rest him out and, you know, give him that time, because he's going to play a crucial role come World Cup.
Be the back?
Can be, because the follow through has not been the same. You know, when you look at Bhuvneshwar Kumar, you could see that if the ball is, that zip is not there, you know, a yard or two can make a huge difference. So as team management, as the people who are concerned around taking this kind of call, they need to just have a dialogue with him, exactly, and they need to give him that confidence that, you know, you are going to play a crucial role. So if it means that you need to be rested right now, so be it. You know, give him that rest, make sure that he is stronger, he is fitter, because he is someone who doesn't need that kind of match practice. If his body is there, if he is physically fit, he is going to deliver the goods. But I'm just getting a feeling that, you know, the rhythm is not coming. It's a catch-22 situation. You know, it's a combination of many things which is leading up to this, and you don't want to go things out of hand. You know, so you got to be proactive rather than reactive at this stage.
But there's no point resting him for a game here and there then.
That's the thing. They have to figure it out. You know, they have to figure out exactly what is the reason. So there can be two reasons. If you're physically fit, then you need to bowl more. Then that means you need game time. Then there is no question of resting for a couple of games and all that. Then it doesn't matter what result it is. Play international games if it's available. International is not available, go and play domestic. You know, then you just need more and more bowling, because you still need to get into same kind of rhythm what was giving you good results. But if it's physical, then take time off from the game. You know, make sure that the time off doesn't mean that you go take the foot off the pedal. You know, that means that you have to do the work. You have to do the physical work. You have to do whatever is required for you to hit the ground running.
It's an interesting call from Dr. Khan.
Dr. Khan, I'm telling you, should be with the team. He should have been with the team since that tour. That's where he would be used most. But we'd miss it.
But you forget that on that tour was not any former fast bowler, but a man in love walking arm in arm in the sunset.
And here we are.
But we'll talk about that for another day.
We got some lovely pictures.
We got
still to be couriered to me from Mr. Jadeja.
From
the West Indies.
Official
That's why I said,
from the official
keep me
photographer.
around. I'm the official photographer when we get anywhere. Only
You took 100 pictures at least, but none of us have seen anything. So we'll hope. Maybe by the time we get to Thiruvananthapuram, you were born there?
No, I'm born in my
Jamnagar?
Navanagar.
Navanagar. So there you are. Maybe by the time we get to Trivandrum. So there you are. Thank you very much to Ajay Jadeja. Thank you very much to Zahir Khan. We just have time for one last thing, which is the question we asked you right at the start. It's time for the joy factor. Let's see how many of you got it right. Now, the question we had was, if Zahir Abbas was the first, Saeed Anwar was the second. Those two names, if you're an Indian of a particular generation, you don't want to hear too often. And Herschel Gibbs was the third. Then who is the latest? All of them scored 3 successive one-day international centuries. And obviously the latest is Virat Kohli. Hashtag Crickbuzz Live was where you had to go to get it. And if you got it right, go there very quickly to see who got it right before you, if anyone else did. But there will be a winner, and the winner is someone who sits with his finger on the go button, because he's got the answer with one button, he hits go with the other, because he keeps winning all the prizes. So let's see who's won it today, and it's once again Crick Rohit, and that means Rohit Yadav, you are now officially formally banned from entering Crickbuzz Live again, so don't even bother sending it next time. We just filter you out. But well done anyway that you got it right twice. So one more time, goodbye to Ajay Jadeja and Zahir Khan. Ajay Jadeja's got an assignment for the next 2 days.
And for the next winner, I'll start giving one photographs from that tour.
Correct. But your assignment, your assignment for the next 2 days is pick out all those beautiful pictures on the beach in Antigua.
With Mr. and Mrs. Khan now.
Yes.
I can say they're Mrs. Khan now.
Yes, you couldn't that time. So thank you very much. The two of you will join you from Thiruvananthapuram. There's a break of a couple of days now. Last time there's just a break of 1 day because you only had to drive down the highway from Mumbai to Pune. Now they've got to go to Thiruvananthapuram. So we'll be back with you on the 1st of November at 1 o'clock on Crickbuzz Live. So do join us. Till then, after a crushing Indian victory, it's good night.